Hello everybody, welcome to SV Union High School and Junior College, Pune. Standard 10, Science and Technology, Part 2. Lesson 1, Heredity and Evolution. Can you recall which component of the cellular nucleus of living organisms carries hereditary characters? DNA carries the hereditary characters of all the living organisms. What do we call to the process of transfer of physical and mental characters from parents to the progeny? Answer. The process of transfer of physical and mental characters from parents to the progeny is called as heredity. Which are the components of the DNA molecule? Answer. The DNA is a double helix made up of nucleotides containing deoxyribose sugar, phosphoric acid, and pairs of nitrogenous bases. Heredity and hereditary changes. Heredity is the transfer of biological characters from one generation to another via genes. Now let's see the work done by eminent biologists and their contribution towards this field. During the mid-19th century, Gregor Johann Mendel conducted the hybridization experiments on garden pea for 7 years. He studied 7 pairs of contrasting characters of this plant. According to him, the characters or the traits are determined by factors that are transferred from one generation to the next. The Mendelian factors are now called as genes. His famous experiments on the pea plant of monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross led to 3 laws of inheritance called as the Mendelian inheritance. First, law of dominance. Second, law of segregation of gametes, also called as law of purity of gametes. Third, law of independent assortment. Mendelian principles were rediscovered by 3 biologists, namely Hugo de Vries, Karl Correns, and Erich Schermer, and thus came the birth of science of genetics. Gregor Johann Mendel is known as the father of genetics. In 1901, Hugo de Vries put forth the mutational theory, according to which mutation is a jerky process where new varieties and species are formed by mutations that functions as raw material of evolution, and hence the reasons behind the sudden changes were understood due to the mutational theory. In 1902, it was Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri who proposed the chromosomal theory of inheritance when they observed the pair of chromosomes in the cells of grasshopper. The paired chromosomes are now called as the homologous chromosomes formed during the meiotic division of the cells, mainly the reproductive cells. After this discovery, research started in the direction of finding the nature of genetic material when it was proved that genes are carried via chromosomes. Well, in 1944, a trio of scientists, namely Oswald Avery, Maclean McCarthy, and Colin MacLeod, proved that except viruses, all living organisms have DNA as the genetic material that helps in the expression of characters of an organism. In 1961, the French geneticists Francois Jacob and Jacques Monod proposed a model for process of protein synthesis with the help of DNA in bacterial cells of E. coli. They proposed the concept of lac operon to explain the regulation of gene expression in that bacteria. This helped in uncovering the genetic codes hidden in the DNA. Thereby, the technique of recombinant DNA technology emerged, which has a vast scope in the field of genetic engineering. The science of heredity is useful for diagnosis, treatment and prevention of hereditary disorders, production of hybrid varieties of animals and plants, and in industrial processes in which microbes are used. Well, to summarize, in this module, we have learnt about heredity and hereditary changes and saw the contribution of biologists in hereditary studies. Thank you, all of you.